Welcome to the first installment in Futurum, a series where I talk about the big upcoming esports events. And today we'll talk about, as you can see on the screen, the Dreamhack Masters Las Vegas group stages. You can see Dreamhack over there, and you can see group stages over there. So, first off, it is starting in 3 days, starting the 15th of February, and I'm really looking forward to it because I think that there are a load of great teams, but most important, at least for me, I love the fact that there are a great talent lineup, because me as an aspiring CSGO shoutcaster, I need to look up to these people in order to improve. So first off, we do have a host called Smix, and that doesn't matter too much to me because I'm a colorcaster. I'm more interested in the analysts. We have the reporter Mantrus, who is always a nice guy, has some amazing hair as well, so definitely one guy to look out for. We have desk host Machine, who is a guy I have been following quite a lot since I saw him shoutcast League of Legends like 2 years ago for ESL. So that guy is definitely someone I look up to a lot. And then we have the commentators. We have Anders, Semler, Henry G, and Sadokist. And at least Henry G and Sadokist are two guys that I really look up to. Henry G, because he is so smart about the game. I really love the way that he talks about Counter-Strike in general. But then I look up to Anders and Semler in terms of the way that they have a lot of synergy built in together. But that's really something that stands out to me. And in terms of analysts, we have YNK, we have Foreign, Moses, and Sponge. So these guys are definitely also someone we have to look out for. Foreign being this one of the best analysts in the world. I mean, it's not necessary that he have the deepest knowledge in terms of the game, but he is so smart in terms of the background story of the players. And pairing him up with YNK is just so good because that guy is brilliant. He has a lot of knowledge about the game, and I really look up to him as a caster and an analyst. But moving on to the group stages, after all, that's why we're here. That's why I'm making this video. So basically, we have top 2 of each group advancing, and group stages are played over 3 days with best of ones. The 2 first days, and then last day will be decided matches of best of 3s. And then in Group A, we do have Astralis, North, Optic Gaming, and Complexity Gaming. And first off, we do have Astralis. After all, we need to talk about these guys. They are the world champions, and they are the best team in the world right now. They still have the same lineup that they used at the E-League Major, and I really do expect great things from the Danes because they cooperate so well together. They know how to read their opponent and shut them down, and they are so steady going. I mean, their dominance right now, at least the way that I see it, is set in stone. Sorry for that one. Then next up, we do have one more Danish team, and it is North, a fairly new team with a lot of established guys. They have played quite a lot together in the past as well. I mean, they used to play for Dignitas, if I remember correctly, and I'm sure that they can improve together and become better than they've been before, because after all, North is basically the biggest Danish football club in Denmark. It's called FC Copenhagen. Football Club Copenhagen, and their team name in esports are called North, but they have such a great organization behind them that they have a lot of potential to grow. And then Optic Gaming is a fairly good team as well. I mean, the basic problem is that they're not as good as North and Astralis, and they are still a rough diamond, but they definitely can come in here and show that they are a team that you have to respect as well. And if they show up and North do not, then they could potentially move on. Potentially. However, last team in the group is Complexity Gaming, and they are basically just there to gain experience and practice against some of the best teams in Counter-Strike Global Offensive in the world. I do expect Optic Gaming having some problems against Complexity, but Astralis and North should not. After all, these two teams are so good, while Optic Gaming, as I said, is still an uncut and rough diamond. So basically, I think the prediction for me will be Astralis as number 1, North as number 2, Optic Gaming and Complexity as respectively 3 and 4th. Basically, we have the best team in the world. They should be able to come out ahead, and we have North not following far behind them. Optic Gaming and Complexity, they simply aren't, in my opinion, good enough to win over these two teams. And then we'll move on to Group B. We have Virtus Pro, who are obviously the favorites. We have Fnatic, Misfits, and Gambit Esports. And Virtus Pro, as I said, they are the big favorites. They played their hearts out against Astralis in the E-League Major. They lost, but yes, they played really, really well. And they run round after round. They had a slow and coordinated playstyle that paid off for a long period of the time, but they just weren't able to get out of the tunnel vision once they lost a lot of rounds in a row to Astralis. But they definitely are the big favorites in this group. And the next team, Fnatic, they are the big question mark. They have brought back their old roster, their roster that were so dominating earlier on. We just need to see how they'll fare, because I am expecting great things of them, but if they do not show up, after all, it's a new roster, they have to perhaps rebuild some of that some of the synergy that they had earlier on and the strategies that they used to be able to use. They need to rebuild that, and that could potentially be their doom here at Dreamhack Masters Las Vegas. And Gambit Esports in Group B, I'd say that they are the team that you have to look out for. They definitely could come in and make a lot of surprises. They won Dreamhack Winter. They won over Godsend in the semi-finals there. So while it's a fairly new team, it's not a team that are not used to meeting these big and established teams. They definitely can come in and, well, make some fire. Let's just put it that way. And then we've seen Misfits before. They aren't top of the pop, but they could come in and make some surprises. They aren't a bad team at all. They have a very aggressive playstyle. It's awesome to watch. It could potentially catch some teams with their pants down. However, my prediction for Group B has to be Virtus Pro, Fnatic, Misfits, and Gambit Esports, because I do think Virtus Pro, they are an incredible team. They are solid as a rock and certainly one of the best teams in the world. I do think that if Fnatic show up and if they can make their new roster work, they've done it before, then they will become the second best team here in Group B. But I do hope that Misfits will show up as well. And if Misfits do not do that, then Gambit can easily take their place. And we do have to keep in mind that if Fnatic do not show up, then Gambit could potentially snatch the top 2 in the group as well, because they are a fairly good team. Moving on to Group C, we have SK Gaming, we have Cloud9, Innocent Jammers, and Tyloo. So basically for SK Gaming, we have Fallen, who is an AWPer that you need to respect. His aggressive and spot-on plays are always crucial for SK Gaming in order to win round after round, winning a lot of tournaments. I'm pretty sure that they won a major earlier on this last year, calendar year. They haven't won anything this calendar year, but last year they won. So it's not that long ago that people were praising SK Gaming for being the best team in the world, and I'm sure that they are eager to be called that again. So they have a chance here to prove themselves to be one of the best teams in the world. And I do think that Ninjas Pajamas are a team that have fallen far from what they used to be. They are inconsistent. Sometimes they rock and sometimes they fall flat. And if they show up, then they could potentially be a top tier team here at the Dreamhack Masters. But if they don't, well, then they could end up as number 3 or potentially 4 in the group. And I must say that one of my big favorites, one of the teams that I'm really looking out for, is Cloud9. I love that team. It's such an awesome team to watch. And they are always able to force their opponents out into the ropes. They'll have to overcome SK Gaming and potentially Ninjas in Pajamas. But I'm sure that that's a task that they can live up to. I'm definitely confident in Cloud9's abilities because they aren't a bad team at all. And I must admit that I know literally nothing about Tyloo. I know that they have played in a tournament before, and that's about it. And it is a Chinese team, and therefore we have to remember that first-person shooters never really were big in China. They were never popular. So I won't say too much about them, and I will have to see how they'll fare and how they'll do here at Dreamhack Masters. My prediction being SK Gaming at the top, Cloud9, Ninjas Pajamas, and Tyloo. I do not think that NIP will show up. I know that they have become better as a team, but I do really think that Cloud9 and SK Gaming are better than Ninjas Pajamas. And we have to keep in mind that SK Gaming, they are quite a team to tame. So if Cloud9 can play calm and collected, and of course in a smart way, then they could potentially take the first place in Group C. But again, SK Gaming, they are the team to win. They are the team that you need to win over, and that's going to be quite hard. Moving on to the last group, we have Group D, where we have Na'Vi, Renegades, FaZe, and Mousesports. And FaZe, as of now, only have 4 players in their roster. Dreamhack is around the corner, and I'm not convinced that they will be the best team. Yes, Counter-Strike Global Offensive is a lot about your aim and your skill, but you can only do so much if you have trouble regarding the synergy of your team. You have to have that consistency and your synergy, and that's something that could potentially be a problem for FaZe Clan here at Dreamhack, just because that they haven't been able to bring in a new and permanent player. Na'Vi is also a top contender for the tournament. They are known for consistency and team play, and they certainly is a team that you have to respect. And if not, well, then they will catch you with your pants down and they will choke you, basically. And Mousesports is a team that I've never really been I have never been that convinced by. I think the roster, at least the current one, is a bit of a random one. I don't think they have a lot of synergy. I've never really been that. I've never been impressed by the way that they're played, if I have to put it that way. I think they have been playing very, very sloppy a lot of the times. And the last team is Renegades, and God, I love Renegades. I love their playstyle, I love their roster, and I love their logo. I mean, what's not to love about Renegades? I expect them to do quite well in this group, and I do think that they have a clear chance at advancing. But it's all about whether or not FaZe Clan will show up, because if they show up, well, then Renegades could have a lot of trouble, because after all, they still aren't the most established team. They still don't have that much LAN experience, and especially against these top tier teams. So I have high hopes for Renegades. But Na'Vi is simply the most experienced team in this group, which obviously gives them a clear edge over everyone else. FaZe could run into consistency problems due to them missing a man, as I said. And that is a reason for me to be a little bit doubtful. And Mousesports is simply not a team I expect a lot of. So, that my prediction has to be Na'Vi, Renegades, FaZe, and Mousesports. So, with that being said, this concludes my first installment in Futurum. Remember, you can find me on Facebook, on YouTube, which you are on right now, Twitter, Medium, Instagram. You can basically find me on a lot of different platforms, and do leave a like and a subscribe down below if you want to see more of this, and I will look to upload more once we advance into the Dreamhack Masters Las Vegas tournament. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.